Indians working for that company. Very high quality talent that India has provided to many of these companies encourages me to believe that we can do a lot of work on high-tech areas in the years to come. This morning we've had very useful engagement amongst the 14 member countries of IndoPacific Economic Framework. Our officials have worked hard to prepare the ground for useful interactions amongst ministers, and by tomorrow we hope to finalize a robust framework within which then we can start engaging amongst member countries on different areas of mutual interest. India, of course, will take its decisions on different aspects of the IPEF framework based on our national interests. I've also had the opportunity to have bilateral discussions with both my counterparts in the US, USTR Ambassador Catherine Tai, and Commerce Secretary Ms. Gina Raimondo. Both were extremely cordial, very excited about the good work happening between the United States and India, extremely favorable to expanding our relations on trade and investments, including in high-tech areas, and wishing to further resilient supply chains between the two countries. I've also had meetings with Vietnam and Japan in which areas of mutual interest were discussed, particularly with the view to expand our exports to both these countries so that we can look at significant jobs being created in India and use our trading partnerships, the free trade agreements with both these countries for greater good of the people of India. Thank you.
So when you talk about favorable expansion with the US, if you could just further elaborate in what would be the nature of this expansion, if you could just dig a little deeper into what was really discussed in the bilateral.
Several areas of mutual interest where we share concerns, where we believe that we need to have self-reliance at the core of our working, where we believe that supply chains amongst partners, trusted partners who believe in transparent economies and rules-based trading systems were discussed with both the colleagues from the US. They are both very keen that wherever possible, India and US should work together so that our dependence on other countries, particularly countries where we have faced severe problems in the last 2 or 3 years, can be reduced, and we can work with each other, and our businesses can work with each other more openly and expand this relationship given the trust that we have between the two countries.
Talk about expanding the relationship with US. Was there a discussion about India seeking greater market access for grapes and US also seeking market access for pork and other.
I think we have already given market access for pork to the US. They have given us correspondingly certain market access on mangoes and pomegranate. So that's decisions we had taken in the last trade policy forum. I have invited, or maybe this time around it's the other way around, we will be having the next trade policy forum very soon with the US, and in the TPF we are hoping to have further deliverables and newer areas of engagement being discussed, for which both teams have been tasked to start engaging with each other, so that we can have one more very successful TPF, as good if not better than last time.
So would that also include like restoring the trade benefits under GSP?
I don't think that's an issue anymore. None of our exports have been affected by the GSP, so I think that's not an issue that we have even discussed in recent times, including today.
So what were the discussions on digital economy, data protection, cyber?
I've informed them that India is looking to have very contemporary and modern laws in the digital world, while of course maintaining high levels of data privacy, particularly of our citizens' personal data. And in that spirit, the last law that had been placed before Parliament has been withdrawn, and a more robust framework is proposed to be presented to Parliament soon. This was very much welcomed by the United States also, as it has been welcomed by businesses in India. India is a big provider of technology services in the IT field to US companies, and I think we have a shared interest to have very good understanding with each other on the laws, because we have big interests of service exports also to the US. In this day and age of work from home, new opportunities have opened up for our young boys and girls, particularly in the tier 3, tier 4 cities and towns, remote areas, to provide cost-effective solutions for American companies. And that also has been received with a great deal of excitement by US businesses. Recently, I've had a chance to meet with many US companies, both in India, in Switzerland during Davos and during the WTO meetings, and during my recent visit to the Bay Area. All of which gives me a sense of encouragement that American companies are looking to expand hiring in India. They're looking to expand their operations, particularly on design, on research and development, their technology support systems in India, their back offices in India, and the numbers of that they are indicating in terms of their hiring plans are truly staggering.
While the law is being drafted, the new law, has the US recommended any specific, because there are a lot of concern with provisions like data localization?
I think they respect India's position on most of these issues. They have not raised any particular issue in my meetings today or in the recent past. On localization also, I think the issues have got quite ironed out and sorted. Of late, that has not been a matter of concern. In fact, I don't think any of the American companies have raised that issue anymore.
On the upskilling initiative, how is India going to be a part of this initiative?
Well, while of course India will also stand to benefit from the upskilling initiative, our young girls and our women have tremendous potential, and given a little nudge and a little support by way of upskilling or training by these reputed companies who are a part of the initiative, I'm sure many of our young girls and our sisters would be able to also contribute to our national goals of becoming a developed country. In addition to that, India has also offered its support to this initiative because we have some very outstanding ed tech companies. We have some very outstanding skilling initiatives in India also as a part of our skill mission, Skill India mission. And we have offered to the US that our companies and our startups would also be able to support this initiative in third countries to be able to provide cost-effective solutions, which was welcomed by the US.
Sir, you also had bilaterals with Japanese minister and Vietnamese minister. So, any particular details that you can share?
Well, I think these are engagements in which we often raise issues of mutual interest, but we do believe that there's huge potential, particularly with Japan, to further expand our trade. And we have since he's just taken charge last month, is a new minister, Métis minister. He is assured to look at all the areas where we can expand our trade in the days to come.
So drones are an emerging field in India. Any of these companies, and we have shared the same concerns, India, US over Chinese drones. So any of these companies are looking at making drones in India, non-Chinese drones in India?
We have not discussed the specific issue of drones, but that our businesses, and we have a lot of startups in the drone ecosystem, will be engaging directly with the businesses in America. At the government to government level, I don't think we discuss these specific industry sectors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just one bite on the Queen, just like on the mic.
Yeah.
We'll just take it on the mic, so if you don't mind.